here, because it's the holiday and you're live, I will give you $200 in a New Ethics Formulations care package of supplements. So just know that. So the first question comes from what can cause thrush and UTIs when you consume sugar, and how to fix it? So really good question. So thrush, if people don't know, thrush is when you get, you get yeast typically buildup or candida in the throat or in the back of the tongue, so it comes up into the mouth. So that's thrush. Think of that like a UTI of the throat in the mouth, right? And then if you get, a yeast infection, because UTIs are different than yeast infections for the guys that are on here. I don't know if you know that. You probably don't want to know this. you probably don't want to know about this, but there's like 3 different things that can go on for women in the reproductive region. And there's bacterial vaginosis, which is BV, and this is really common. 17% of women have BV at any one time. They may not even know they have it. Bacterial vaginosis is just basically when the bacterial cultures of the vagina have gotten off. So you've got too many acid bacteria versus basic bacteria. Maybe you guys want to know this or you don't want to know this, but everywhere from your nose to your anus has lots of bacteria. Okay, bacteria is lining the tissues all the way from your sinuses, your nose, your ears to your ass. Okay, and the bacteria, depending on how north it is, so the more north bacteria goes. So let's say the nose is Canada, and this is probably not great, but let's say the south is South America, which that probably inherently doesn't sound very good, but the point is north-south, okay? And so your bacteria, or the types of bacteria, from your nose to your stomach, to your esophagus, to your duodenum, to your small intestine, are very acidic bacteria. And then as you start going into the large intestine, right, you start moving further and further south, into the colon, to your anus, you have more basic bacteria, okay? And that's where the basic bacteria does the heavy breakdown of material, of tissue, right? So that's what, like, for example, bacteria in the forest that breaks apart trees is very basic, right? Meanwhile, the bacteria that would hang out in your stomach is very acidic. So the pH of your body changes from north to south. And so when that pH gets affected due to stress, antibiotics, diet, it can shift your pH. So for women, for example, and you want Nick, for you, just for Christmas, I will take my shirt off. Don't test me, all right? You'll have to go live. If I take my shirt off in a live, then you got to take your shirt off in a live. And that'll be like a double dog dare ya. Anyway, so when you take in a lot of, let's say, starches, okay, it creates a lot of fermentation. Fermentation is what candida feed on. So if you're not careful, when you consume a specifically high glycemic index sugar, so processed sugars, straight glucose, high starches, you're going to get what? You're going to get 2 things with that. You're going to get a lot of fiber, FODMAPs, that your bacteria can feed on, like oligosaccharides, which your body can feed on, and then also Myelin 152, I always save these, which will be on my page after. And then again, the fermentation or the breakdown of carbohydrates will feed the yeast. And if you have a weakened immune system or your bacteria alignment is not very good, then it will either go north in thrush or south, right? In a yeast infection, which is different than a UTI. So a UTI is not related to fungus, but is related to bacteria. So bacteria is UTI, fungus is yeast infection, and cultural acidity changes that changes the bacteria, but it's not an infection, is what we would call BV, bacterial vaginosis, right? Women should know that your vaginal bacteria, here's a quick clip for you guys. Your risk of getting STDs or getting herpes or getting any sexually transmitted disease declines by about 50 to 70%, even if you had sex with an infected person, when you have really strong bacterial cultures in your vagina, because it protects you against whatever the foreign body has going on. So I'm really big on a product called Ultraflora Women's. It's a bacteria specifically for the vagina for women, and it's got Paracea in it and Reuteri. These are two lactobacillus strains of bacteria that are known to protect against antibiotic resistant strains of bacteria, which is good. You don't want antibiotic resistant strains, but also protects your immune system and protects you from getting chronic UTIs or yeast infections or bacterial vaginosis. Women that have bacterial vaginosis are almost twice as likely to get, right, everything from HPV, herpes, sexually transmitted diseases, if they have intercourse unprotected with a individual that is a carrier of these things. So protecting your bacteria is super important to also just obviously just reproductive health in general, but has a much bigger connection than that. My wonderful assistant Maddie has jumped on. Maddie, I'm going to give away. It's the holidays. I'm feeling like givey today, Maddie. So if I give everybody if I give anyone on here a New Ethics Care package, you will turn your information into Maddie. Is recurring HPV related to immune issues like OID? Yes, exactly. So we have a lot of people, Emily. So first off, if you do some fasting mixed with going to Des Bio, so go to Des Bio products, right? Des Bio has an HPV kit. So it's homeopathics that help train your immune system to look for the virus, and then you do some autophagy work, right? I also like using monolaurin, and so if you do that, you may not get any HPV related flares, or you may get rid of HPV altogether. So it's just something to think about. It's something that we do address in the OID program, but you can take a shot at it yourself and see how it goes. Let's see. Sprouted Soul says, if I plan to join the level 1 cohort, awesome. Starting Monday, should I still do this, or will I be doing the program? So great question. So remember, this is all of us all of our students, all of our clients, it's like I don't know, probably like 700 people are all going to be flushing together. So one, it's fun to do it with everybody. Two, you're also getting a deal on all the products, and you're getting a program designed for you. So I would highly recommend doing this, and then you'll learn how to do it for others in the L1 cohort. But you're getting all the products so cheap, and you're getting the coaching session to build out one specifically for you. I would absolutely do it, because the L1 cohort, you've got to learn to do it. So you're still a couple weeks away from learning how to do that for others. So doing it on yourself first is the best way to learn. There's almost no program in the 4F process that I've done that I've not done on myself, except for fertility. I'm not going to try to make me pregnant, but everything else I have done to myself, because it's super important, and that's how I learn. Before I ever got into fasting, I did a 3-day fast. I did a 5-day fast. I worked with people privately before I went to many fasting centers, because I was very anti-fast. I don't know if you guys know this. I have changed my opinions over time. only when I saw evidence for it, right? And so I was very much an anti-fasting person because I thought that low calorie hurt people. But I didn't understand the difference between low calorie and autophagy, and they're not the same thing. Is there a link on your page to look into the L1 cohort? 100%. Melissa, I'll send you L1 cohort. Right now, if you buy the L1 cohort, any of you on here, if you guys buy the L1 cohort and you tell them you are on here and if you can at least book a sales call before the first of the year, I will add in 3 months free of my apprenticeship. So you'll get to come out and hang out with me and be with my top coaches. If you go ahead and remind them that I told you that, Melissa, and we can send you a link. And if you message me, I'll send you the link for it. If anyone wants to come join my apprenticeship for free for 3 months, send me a message because what you'll learn will change your life 100%. So send me a message on it. Travel Queen says, do you recommend fasting for cycling women? So this is important. Everyone has the right to fast. There is no such thing as fasting is for the boys and it's not for the women. That's ridiculous. Now, you are correct, right? Should women stay in a fasting process for long periods of time? No, not as long as males. It would be optimal if a woman could get it narrowed down to doing a fast, although the data is conflicting on fasting, okay? So intermittent fasting and 3-day water fasting or protein sparing fasting, where you go to 1,000 grams or 1,000 calories, which is just protein, or you do fasting mimicking, which is 1,000 or 750 or 500 calories, that is very low protein. Or you do a juice fast, which is like 1,000 calories of just juicing, right? You can get up to 12 or 1,500. That's another form of fast, believe it or not. But women, if they have menstruation issues, fasting when they're menstruating shows reduction in symptoms. But if women typically should fast, it should be in their luteal phase. Hey guys, I'll be right there. 5 minutes. My parents have arrived for the holidays, so I'm going to try to answer some more of these questions. I'll answer any questions that I don't get to. I'll answer on my stories like I did yesterday. I'll get to it tomorrow. What else is doing something like this? Exactly. I have my call today and signing up tomorrow. Okay, so you did? Okay, so Sprouted Soul, they're going to kill me for this, but tell them that I just gave you 3 months of my apprenticeship for free, which is, by the way, a $3,000 add-on. So tell them thank you. They're going to be so mad that I did that. And I don't give a shit. It's the holiday and you came on here and it's my fucking business. So I'll do what I want. How about that? But they're going to be so mad about that. So please talk more about reverse dieting and metabolic adaptation. I'm scared to increase my calories. Okay. So this is a great question. Reverse dieting, metabolic adaptation is called adaptive thermogenesis. It means that when my body has been eating the same calories, it gets adjusted to the movement that I'm doing and the type of food that I'm eating and the calories that I'm at. And it will slow down your thyroid. It will slow down the energy that you burn when you digest food. It will slow down the amount of calories that you burn when you're active. And it will slow down the amount of movement, your fidgety movement. And so that will counter adjust. And now you're back in a surplus again. So now you're not losing any weight. So sometimes you're gaining weight. And so then you try to adjust your calories again, and it does it again. And you try to adjust your calories again, and it does it again. So you have to trick your body. You got to turn leptin back on. Leptin is stimulated by insulin, okay? But you don't want to overstimulate insulin. So if you ate a whole bunch of carbs that were starchy, you would probably gain weight. That's why when you need to do a reverse or like at least 5 to 7 days, you can either increase your calories, 300 to 500 calories, and balance it out more Mediterranean. Do that for a week and then go back to your diet. That's one way to do it. I highly recommend Thyroid Boost Plus to make sure that you don't gain weight. You want to turn your thyroid up when you eat more food. So Thyroid Boost Plus, take like 4 caps in the morning, empty stomach. that will protect you from gaining weight, but activate your metabolism. Because when you activate some insulin, insulin is what stimulates leptin. Then leptin releases from your fat cells, which helps you burn fat. So you have to stimulate diet variation. You got to stimulate your body to feed up, okay? Now you can just do a flush. That's why I recommend doing a flush. Don't do it yourself and you'll see that it'll work. 92% of people stuck in their metabolic adaptation, when they do a flush, increase their calories anywhere from 500 to 700. They do it using fructose, which doesn't require insulin to metabolize. And 92% of them lose the weight and now are 500 or 700 calories higher. So that's what that's what I'm trying to tell you. That was my main claim to fame when my career took off. I figured out how to solve this unsolvable problem. How do I feed my client more and still get weight loss? Because if I could do that, if everyone could do that, then they'd stop starving the shit out of their clients for way too long. And that's what causes severe metabolic adaptation, which is probably what you went through, right? All right, Mylon, I will absolutely check out your DM. Let's see, man. Of course, everybody's getting on here now. A supplement should be arriving, starting my flush in 10 days. That's what I'm talking about, girl. Awesome. Link to join your class. Yeah, Josie, the fast or the flush or my class. Josie, whichever one, I don't know which one. Maddie, make sure you get their information. I don't know. So listen, I want everyone to know this. I'm going to answer all of my parents just came here for the holidays. I wanted to hop on here. I'm going to hop on again later this week. I am going to answer the rest of your questions from my stories tab. If anybody wants, you have a chance to just flush with me, get all the products and a flush course for like $160. You have a chance to win $25,000. We're doing a flush challenge. It's cool. Just do a flush with me. You could win $25,000. You'll get all the products and your own flush tailored to you for like, Maddie, how much does it cost? Maddie, do you know how much it costs? I forget. I totally forget. Is it like $160? It's like $250. Please answer to fix the thrush question. Lori says, gained a lot during the holidays and overeating carbs after being in a deep deficit with no proper reverse. Do you recommend doing a flush? Yes, 100%. The flush is $197 and you get $250 worth of product for $197 and you could have the chance to win $25,000 and you get a flush program. You meet with a coach and you get a flush program tailored for you. So join my flush team. Maddie, drop my flush link in my stories tab so anyone can sign up. I will answer everybody else's questions. If anybody wants to join my apprenticeship and get 3 free months, send me a message. I will answer all your questions. I'm going to go eat with my parents. I appreciate you all. I might even go live on New Year. I'll answer that thrush question. Drop a message to me. I'll answer that thrush question on my stories. See you all. Thank you guys. Peace.